Hello, friends. It is time for this week's edition of Real Talk Wednesday. I wanted to talk to you all today about something that I constantly struggle with, but that I've recently gained some new insights on. I am, I guess, by nature, an overachiever. I've always been. I'm also a perfectionist. These things have probably, over the course of my life, caused me much more heartache and anxiety and stress um, than than my life would have been filled with otherwise. I just have unrealistic expectations. I'm the type of person who likes to set goals, and I love the feeling of being able to achieve those goals like anyone. But I have a tendency to set unrealistic goals for whatever my current circumstances are. I think it's great to dream big. I think it's great to shoot for the stars. But I also am learning that I have to be realistic about what I'm able to achieve given my current circumstances. I have set unrealistic expectations in my relationships and my marriage. I have unrealistic expectations for myself as a student, as a mother, just pretty much every area of my life. And it's something that I've really been praying about and seeking God's guidance on because it's something in me that I recognize I need to release and get better at setting realistic expectations. But what I wanted to talk to you guys more specifically about today is a quote that I read in this amazing book. This semester, I have been blessed to take a course called Life and Work of a Pastor. Although I do not feel God calling me to pastor, I definitely feel like He is calling me to do something that is pastoral in the way that I will be caring for people and ministering to them. And so I took this class and I'm really enjoying it. We are reading this book by John Stott called Problems of Christian Leadership. And I read it and I have to do a book review over it, but something that I read really stuck out to me. In this book, he's talking about several things that we need to know as people in ministry, but also as people just in life. One of them is the problem with discouragement. And there is a lot of burnout in ministry because there is a lot of discouragement. It's very easy, as I can attest to in my 3 years working on a church staff, it's very easy to get discouraged in ministry. So he kind of talks about that. He references Paul and his letters to the Corinthians and talking about not losing heart. And he notes at the end of this chapter that there was a gentleman who was attempting to help Australian traders find out a way that they could transport meat from Australia to Europe without it spoiling. And so he set out to create a brand new refrigeration system. He gave himself 3 years to create it, but it took him 27 to figure it out and get it to work. And he was blessed to be able to watch the first ship leave Sydney with his new refrigeration system, but he passed away before it made it to Europe. But it did make it there successfully. And the author, John Stott, talks about how in this person's home, written all over the place on the walls, was his personal motto. And this is what stood out to me, and I highlighted it, and I have got to write it and put it in my office. And the motto is, to persevere is to succeed. I love that. Because I think so often we feel like if we set a benchmark for ourselves and then we don't reach it when we say we're going to reach it, then we failed. And I feel like that we set ourselves up for just so much disappointment and anxiety and just bad feelings about ourselves and negative self-talk when we do that. And one of the things that I'm realizing is that sticking with it, having the wherewithal and the courage and the strength to keep going even after you haven't met that initial goal or that initial deadline, persevering and staying with it until you achieve it, that's success too. So when I look at my own personal life, I started seminary in 2010. I thought, it takes most people 3.5, 4 years. It may take me 5 to finish. Then I got pregnant and I had to take about 1.5 years off. And so now I'm in the middle of my 6th year in seminary and I still have about 1 year to 1.5 years left. And a lot of times I get really disappointed and discouraged by that, especially like when I'm tired and I have a lot of assignments. But this is a quote that I'm going to have to hold on to persevere is to succeed. The fact that I'm still in school and I'm still pushing to finish the degree that I set out, that I started to achieve, is a success. The fact that I haven't thrown in the towel and I haven't given up, that's a success within itself, and I have to celebrate that and give myself credit for that. The same happens with any other goals. Like I'm a health and fitness coach, so when I have clients who say, I want to lose 30 pounds in 20 days, first of all, for a lot of people, that's unrealistic. But secondly, if you hit that first 20 days and you've only lost 7 pounds, but you keep going into the next month, into the next month, into the next month, until you hit that 30 pounds that you want to lose, perseverance is success. So if you stick with it until you achieve it, just the fact that you're persevering is a success within itself. So be proud of yourself for that. And that's really what I just wanted to speak into you guys' lives today, is that when we set out to achieve certain things in our lives, the idea and the fact that we can stick with it until we get there is a success within itself. So don't beat yourself up. If you started out 2015 with these huge hopes and dreams and things just aren't coming together yet, it's okay. Keep going. Give yourself time. Give yourself space to make it happen. And also, one of the things that I, like I said, have had to learn is I got to make sure that my expectations for myself are realistic. Just like I said, for most people, it's unrealistic to think you're going to lose 30, 40 pounds in 20 days because it's just not healthy to lose it that fast. This is for most people. Some people can lose it that fast if they have a pretty tremendous amount of weight to lose. But that being said, having realistic goals is one of the first criteria of setting goals, is making sure they're realistic and attainable. Definitely want to push yourself, but I have a habit of pushing myself to the point where there's no way I could possibly achieve those goals unless I sit myself in a closet and shut out the rest of the world for 30 days so I can achieve those goals. And that's not realistic. The goals I have for myself in school, the goals I have for myself in building my business, I have to make sure that my family, my faith, my schoolwork stays central and priority. And I can't push those things out to the perimeters just so I can get to this goal in building my business right now. I have to maintain those things that are most important to me. So, with all that being said, I just wanted to send out some encouragement to everyone out there today, because like I said, this has been an area of my life that I've struggled with a lot. I struggle with daily. God bless my husband, because he helps me stay centered. He brings me back down to earth a lot of the times. But stay encouraged. Know that the things that you want to achieve in your life are attainable. You are worth it. You are worth the things that you want to achieve. But make sure that you're pacing yourself, that you're giving yourself realistic deadlines and goals, and stick with it, because persevering and sticking with it is success. Thank y'all so much for watching this week's video. I'm glad to be back in the saddle with my Real Talk Wednesdays. I look forward to sharing more thoughts, inspirations, and insights with you all in the weeks to come. Thank you so much. You guys be blessed.